Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the KDL. I am joined tonight by the lovely Dilly and Penelope, both giving me their time tonight. Happy Fourth to everyone coming from the States. I know Dilly's Canadian, so he doesn't celebrate, but it's all good.
USA.
You can keep chanting if you want.
USA. 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 USA.
And there we go. So before the game, I was asking people around the Discord if they had any questions. And who wrote, if you could merge two different animals to create the ultimate animal, what two animals would it be? Um, and most likely, I'd probably say, it's a tough question. I'd probably say like a crow and probably like more falcony features. Like just like a more dominant predator. Yeah, I'd probably say something. So probably like a crow and like an eagle, cause and like take most of the physical features of like a falcon, but take like the yeah the a murder of crows that can actually murder, um, but take like the social structure of a crow, cause they're actually hella smart. Um, but if they were just like more, if they could body somebody, you know, like they'd be pretty dangerous. Penelope, what do you think? Two animals.
A chicken and a cow.
A chicken and a cow. Would they be
Yeah.
would they be like cow-sized chickens or chicken-sized like would it be like a cow with like chicken claws or like a chicken with like udders?
Whatever makes the best meat.
Mm, that's a good answer. I don't think Dilly's here yet. But we'll have to ask him before we get into game.
I'm here. I have no idea though.
Oh, you have no idea.
Oh,
Damn, dude.
wow. Okay.
That's tough.
I'll have to think on it. If I come up with something, I'll get back to you.
Okay, good. And of course, as you guys see on stream, the one game we have tonight is GME versus Dab Nation. Starting pretty soon. Lobby is together. People are just waiting a second as we start to start the champ select. But we're gonna have to wait a second while we wait for everybody to get ready. I think somebody went to the bathroom or something. Maybe somebody went off to go set up a firework. Be as patriotic as they can be. If you have channel points, go for a prediction on who you think is gonna win. Maybe you'd want to wait until Champ Select was going on, but hey, if you just wanna bet right now, go for it. And then the other question in the Discord I saw, which was from Isi or Issei or whatever. What do you think about the revamp of the lore? And honestly, I remember when they first Issei. Okay, I tried my best. I remember when they first did the universe page and like there was the whole continent and they had the event and game and stuff, and it was actually really cool to like actually have a correct map. Because for a while there was just like a map that like people had made up like with some BS, and like stuff was just not in the correct location at all. But now actually having a map and having like geographic differences and stuff is pretty interesting. Some champions are still don't feel like very attached to the lore, which is something they need to work on. Like what is a Mumu still? Like they really don't know about that, and they haven't really gone into too much detail about what really Bandle City is. Um, I actually also, if anyone remembers, they made that picture book a couple years ago, maybe a year or two ago at this point, where each they had like pictures from each region, and then at the end they had a short story from each of them. But sadly, in the book, like the Bandle City and the Void pages are both like literally one page each because like they don't really know what they want to do with them yet. So hopefully they add some stuff about that because there's cool champions in each of those regions. So I'd like to see the lore develop there. I would assume with the next champion, 'cause I think the next champion's supposed to be like a goth Yordle type deal.
The next one is Arkshawn or something like that. He's the mid lane
Oh, the Sentinel of
AD.
Light guy.
Yeah, the mid lane AD ranged character. He's like a grapple hook, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah. We're getting him, but then I think it's like some like goth Yordle who like went to the Shadow Isles, who's supposed to be like a burst mage. So maybe when they add her, they'll expand more on like Yordle lore, which would be interesting. Yeah, no, I really like the Darken and Ascended stuff. Um, and yeah, sure. I mean, you could say Zaya's hot, but that's kind of weird.
Whoa, bro.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think the lore's pretty good. One thing I guess I had an issue with was that for the longest time we were all like led to believe that Zed's lore is like Zed's evil, you know? Like Zed is just this nasty guy who killed Shen's father and like ran the Order of Shadows. But then with the said comic you find out that he like staged Shen's dad's death and then actually Shen's dad was the leader of the Order of the Shadows and then he kills him in the comic. So like technically he still killed Shen's dad, but Shen thought he was a good guy when in reality he was a bad guy. So like Zed's in this really weird spot where he's like definitely evil, but like still like feels bad for Shen and people doing the right thing. And he felt if it sort of feels like he only turned towards this darker side just to fight Noxus. Um, so I don't know. It's just like a classic case of like recently where it's like people just can't be evil anymore. They have to have like a justification and like a reason for you to feel like they're evil for people to relate to. But honestly, it's just fun when there's characters like the Joker who are just like evil for being evil. Like more Jin stuff? Yeah, Jin's lore is pretty cool. I could get behind Jin. I have no problem with Jin. Um, I really liked I really liked his release stuff. Like the teasers and stuff they did were on some champion pages. They had little like flowers bloom. And now I see that Crimson put kittens versus puppies. I would probably say cats. Just because big dogs scare me a little. They get a little too aggressive. Cats don't get that aggressive. And now I see 1 billion lions versus all the Pokemon by by my other caster. Obviously, all the Pokemon. Some of them are gods.
Yeah,
That's besides the
I
point.
also agree with all the Pokemon.
It must be all the Pokemon. But now we're in Champ
Oh, the
Select,
draft's
so we
starting.
don't have to worry about it. Oh,
That's
you guys might
interesting.
want to see that though. Transition.
We got a Nocturne ban on blue side.
Nocturne ban on blue side is interesting. It sort of shows that Crimson probably doesn't want to play it. Probably not comfortable on it, but respects the fact that Nocturne is probably one of the best champions in the game right now, and it does need to be banned. We're probably going to see a lot of jungle bans. A lot of people do not like the jungle champions. They're pretty strong right now. Although we do see a Shen ban.
I do believe that JT's been playing Shen a fair bit in solo queue lately.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I think Shen's okay. A lot of people don't think he's particularly good right now, but I could see if he's really proficient, why they'd want to ban it. As we see Zac banned away. Crimson, if people were here for streaming 2 hours earlier, played Zac against us. I think he played it against another team as well, so Crimson's just sort of comfortable on that champion. Or he's seen like 3 jungle bans at this point. It'll be interesting to see if we see more.
Could see a Diana ban. It's a pretty popular champion in the jungle right now too. As we get the Lulu ban, which is paired very well with the Kog'Maw, and nobody really likes to play against Lulu Kog'Maw right now.
No, that's for sure. Lulu Kog'Maw is a bit frustrating. I just want to get rid of these mission things. Very annoying. Um, but yeah, we might see another jungle ban for Crimson. We might also see a ban thrown in mid lane. Um, since Dab Twice, Raul is pretty proficient on a lot of champions. As we do see the Echo ban probably thrown his way.
Crim actually played Echo in one of their games. I believe it was against. It would have been against. I can't remember who it was against, but he
GGT?
definitely
I
played.
don't remember what team, but he definitely
He
played
definitely
it.
played Echo, and he did very well on it.
Oh, alright. Well, there you go. 3 jungle bans. As we see the Viego first pick. Viego, pretty strong right now. A lot of people like the pick. Can be flexed within the solo lanes and jungle. Let's see if Crim wants to play it.
The Ivern answer.
Yeah, I think earlier in the season somebody played Ivern into Viego, if I'm not wrong.
I know Bry, he played Ivern in an INS game against Akatsuki, I believe it was. He
Yes.
role swapped to jungle for that game.
Yes. And I think they had the Viego that game. As we see that Ashe picked up here. A bit interesting to see Ashe picked, especially when there's so many other ADCs on the table. Dilly, what are your thoughts on Ashe?
I think Ashe is pretty solid right now. She doesn't get played a lot in pro. She doesn't get played a whole lot in solo queue, but her ultimate is always good for team fighting. And if that's what the team's looking to do, just get picks with her ultimate, then hopefully it works out for them.
Sort of interesting though to be paired with Ivern. You would assume with enchanters you'd want something maybe a little more hyper carry. Ashe can definitely go like a pretty strong AD build, but you sort of see maybe Ivern linked up with like a Kog'Maw or a Jinx or something. As we see Diana and Ezreal picked on the side of Dab Nation.
And I believe that's going to be Diana mid. Dab Twice is very proficient on that champion. One of his best ones for sure. It's been banned away from him a lot so far in the KDL, so he's probably pretty excited to get his hands on it.
I think that's still from 2 seasons ago when he beat Never Lose with Diana. I think that's where the respect comes from, when he was on Bobaz, if I remember correctly. As we see the Orianna picked in response to Diana. What do you think they're probably going to be banning out here, Dilly, on both sides, as we do see that Urgot ban come in?
Probably top lane bans on both sides. They might throw a couple of bans at Jinsoul, Tyler, the support. He likes to play things like Bard, Zyra. He did very well on the Rel as well in one of their games, so I wouldn't be surprised to see bans at either of those people. I mean, those are the only 2 roles left, but... And we are going to see some bans towards the support.
Yeah, more bans thrown at Tyler as we see Leona banned away. Leona just having that all-in that they probably need right now, especially with Ivern, Orianna, Ashe. A little more kiting, but not really having the hard engage besides an Enchanted Crystal Arrow right now. On the side of GME, as we see the Thresh banned away against Rocket. One of his comfort picks, I think he played it earlier against Seas. Most people, most supports just like playing Thresh. Thresh just an all-around pretty good support, works with most ADCs. Can be very frustrating to deal with.
Yeah, it's just an all-around good pick support. And then we see another Enchanter ban.
The Janna. It's a bit interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen Tyler play Janna.
I'm sure he could if he wanted to.
That's probably true. So instead, look, they're hovering the Alistar. Alistar pairing pretty well with the Orianna Shockwave. Pretty classic combo, the Headbutt Pulverize into the Orianna Shockwave. As they're going to be getting that hard engage that they need. Alistar, though, a little tough matchup against Ezreal. It's pretty hard to lock him down, especially since you're basically able to Arcane Shift out of Headbutt and avoid the Pulverize. So we're going to have to see if Tyler can get crafty, maybe with some flanks or Hex Flashes to catch Ezreal off guard.
We're gonna see the Karma come through. Ezreal Karma is a very strong bot lane. They get a strong push going early, and that's what Ezreal wants. Now
Hmm.
they're still lacking a front line though. They don't really have anybody that can just tank a ton of damage. So I expect them to pick something here that can do that.
Yeah, especially with how much Karma shields can help with the engage. I wouldn't be surprised to see Set. As we do see Set, I was gonna say it, and then he picked it right before I could say it. But Set just being a pretty overall good blind pick top laner. Doesn't have too many bad matchups, but does definitely fare well into a lot of things. Could disengage the Alistar off his team, as we do see the Wukong being hovered. Not too knowledgeable on that matchup, but I'd assume it's pretty even. Maybe Wukong favored early.
Both champions are pretty strong right now in their own right. So one
Hmm.
makes use of Gore Drinker and Stridebreaker. Wukong making good use of the Divine Sunderer.
That's for sure. Um,
It's Wukong favored.
it is Wukong favored. Okay. Um, Not surprised, honestly, that it's Wukong favored. But interesting comps nonetheless from both sides. What is your guys' opinion? Whose draft do you like more? I would probably say I like the draft of the side of DN more than the GME draft.
I think DN definitely got more of the meta picks in this draft. I think that if they can combo their alts, they'll have a really good team fight. I think that GME's team fight is easier to execute. So we're just gonna have to see what happens in game.
And Penelope,
Would have
what do you?
liked. I would have liked GME's better if they picked Kog'Maw.
Yeah,
That was a
that's
lot
sort of
better of a pick than Ash.
yeah. I think they don't really need the enchanted crystal arrow for engage. Since they pick Orianna, Alistar, and Wukong, all three just being able to synergize really well with Orianna shockwaves, being able to get the ball and get in there and knock up a lot of people all at once. So the Ashe feels a bit odd. I would agree with you that if that was more of a hyper carry pick, it'd probably be more reasonable. Um, but yeah, I think the side of DN is gonna have more pressure in this bot lane. It's really gonna come down to whether or not they're able to keep this Viego down. As we actually do see, it is Crimson on the Diana and Raul on the Viego.
I'm
Uh,
kind of surprised by that, to be honest. I was expecting it to be the other way around.
yeah, especially since this patch they nerfed Viego's lane sustain a little. But Diana also not being too favored right now in lane, being more of a jungler. Viego maybe having a slightly better matchup. Raul might just be practicing it more recently. Who's to say? Um, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. We're going to have to see. GME most likely going to be playing around top side, and I would assume that we're playing around like a mid lane fight for the side of DN, with Viego and Diana and Set having a little stronger skirmish power in a 3v3. But I would assume Ivern and Wukong probably beat Set Diana in a 2v2. So it's gonna be interesting to see where they can go for these early engages. Maybe go for an early dive if they get enough push pressure in bot lane with Ezreal, Karma, and Diana. Having shields to tank that up. A little tough to dive Alistar, but if he's low, it might be manageable. We're just gonna have to see when we get into game. And Dilly, you still did not answer the question about the two animals, and I gotta hold you to it.
Um, Let me see. Oh, there's two animals in this game. I'll go for a mix of a cow and a monkey.
A cow and a
Alistar and
monkey.
Wukong. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why, but it'd be interesting.
So like the strength of a cow in like a monkey body.
Monkeys are pretty strong.
Yeah, but not the monkey that Wukong is. Like if he's like a gorilla, sure. But you know, like monkeys are about as strong as humans in certain senses. But
Yeah,
like cows and ox like move cars.
It's true. That's true.
Like boys are strong. As let me transition. Here we go. As we are in the loading screen now for the game. As we get to look at skins, my favorite part of the game. 2 no skins on the side of DN. Everybody on the side of GME having a skin. Good on them. Legendary skins and ultimate skins being used. I like it. Let's see. Gonna have to see what chromas they go, if any of them match. There is like an Ash chroma where she could be pink and match Pool Party Oriana. And nothing too interesting on the side of Keystones either.
There are 4 Conqueror Keystones on the side of DN though, so that individual healing can stack up pretty quick. So despite the team not doing a whole lot of healing except for Viego, anti-heal will probably be a pretty good buy here on the side of GME.
Okay, I was like, what the heck is going on? As we're here loading into game, magical times. No one using any chromas too out of the ordinary. Important to recognize that. Quick question for people in chat. How do I zoom out again in the League client? I think it's like...
I believe it's Z and scroll.
Is it Z? Is it literally just Z? I think it's Control Z.
Control Z.
Control Shift Z. Aha! There we go. There we go. We did it. I fudged some of them. But it's alright. Karma went exhaust. Not too surprising. Especially against Wukong. You're probably gonna end up exhausting Wukong for the most part. I wouldn't have been surprised though to see Ezreal go cleanse and Karma to take the heal, as we see they're spam pinging this ward.
They really want to clear it. They do not have a sweeper though, so they're not going to be able to do that.
They said
Level 1 was pretty standard. Everyone lined up across the river, respected each other, and just waited for the minions to make it to lane.
Speedoof gonna land some auto attack poke here onto Raul. Pretty good poke overall. Raul will miss the Blade of the Rune King though.
Is that the name of his Q?
That is the name of his Q.
I see.
I think so. His Q is Blade of the Rune King. W I think is Spectral Maw. His E I think is literally just called like Black Mist or something like that, and then his ult is Heartbreaker.
I'll have to remember that.
Yeah, there's gonna be a test after the game, if you can remember it. As we see a pretty standard, as we see a pretty standard start on the side of Ivern. Pretty sure Ivern marked his blue and wolves, and then started pathing up to his red, and smited that. Most likely gonna get level 2. Yeah, he's marked his whole bot side, and then went to go and smite red. Probably gonna collect all of that right now. Every lane just pretty even right now. Everybody trading. Nothing too significant. Pretty good facebreaker by Set. The Haymaker will land doing a lot of damage, getting Wukong down to half health. Pretty well played there in the early trades.
Not seeing a whole lot of nerfs on the side of Viego in terms of lane sustain here in the mid lane so far. Even though Bidoof has been landing quite a bit of poke, he's staying pretty healthy.
Yeah, it's still like he still has like half the sustain, and the Doran shield is probably keeping him up pretty well as well. As we do see Diana is down here on the bot side of the map, is pinging that she is going in. As we see the bot lane gank coming in. Sadly, no one really in range. The Mantra Q will land. The Q lands, she dashes in, but gets headbutted away from Alistar. Alistar will have the flash though, as the Q from Ezreal does miss. Ivern is here now though, lands the trigger. The trigger seed comes in. Heal, ignite, people flashing, people dashing, 2 flashes away, headbutt pulverize in onto Karma. Karma probably not going to live for much longer. Really good trigger seed on the side of the Ivern. Ivern flashing in for the auto attacks, does land the Q, but not much else there, as we do see a really well played on the side of GME. Ivern coming in a little late, Diana not respecting him being on this side of the map, as he does get the scuttle and the tank. As we see the cube go wide, Alistar is landing the Hex Flash. He pulverizes first and then headbutts. As we see the TP coming in from Set, Arcane shifts forward, but no mana on Ezreal right now. Might see a flash forward from Set here. Ivern does not have flash. Could have possibly done it, but decides to go against it. But now losing all that pressure top lane. Just a really well played fight on the side of GME.
Yeah, that was a very long fight too. It did.
As we're
lasted,
not done yet.
A couple minutes, yeah. As we're seeing more trades in the river here. But all sums on the side of GME in the bot lane are blown. Alistar does still have the Hex Flash though. Ezreal just has his flash left.
Yeah. Basically every sum burned in that engage besides Ezreal Flash. Just getting a little cocky, not thinking that the Ivern would be there so fast. Didn't think he'd be on that side of the map, just walking into him blind. But good job by the Ivern landing all of his CC and getting the shields to keep teammates alive, as we do see him buy Moby Boots first. Pretty standard on Ivern to get around the map faster. Although I think people this season have been favoring the Ionian boots, right, with so much CDR. As we do see a gank coming mid, the Hex Flash will land over the wall. Good flash on that Q by Raul, keeping him alive. Alistar not getting stuff done, but pressure exerted, no flash here on Viego now.
Yeah, Viego's gonna have to play a little bit safer now without that flash, especially being in a melee versus ranged matchup.
Yeah, lane that already wasn't particularly fun, down 10 CS, just gets a little harder. As we do see some more trading in the top side, but the Mimic will come out from Wukong. Dim striking back in.
We also see in the bot lane, Ezreal went for the Sheen first rather than picking up the tier. So he's probably thinking, if we're going to keep fighting like that, I want the extra damage early versus just stacking the tier. And I do the same thing sometimes on AD. If it's very busy bot lane and there's lots of fights happening, I'll skip the tier, get the Sheen, and grab the tier on the next back.
As we do see pings coming around this dragon, direct to camera not really helping us out. I'm pretty sure GME started it, but was able to get poked off by the Karma, the pink ward over the wall. Just a little scared going for it. Surprised to see them back off since the Ivern does have the level advantage. Doesn't affect the smite, but would be able to hit level 6 first in that lane. As we do see the levels are even here in the bot lane. Hex flashing in from Tyler. Oh, he's just going to back up. Not much happening there. As Ivern once again exerting more pressure in mid lane. He does do some damage, but not much else happening there.
Seem to have calmed down from that early level 2 and 3 fight in the bot lane. Haven't seen anything too crazy since then. People probably thinking, all right, we burned all of our sums. Let's just farm for a bit.
That that Diana gank though is punished, as we do see Ivern take the top side blue. Bidoof coming over to get the other part of that blue, utilizing that Ivern passive. As we probably will see Wukong collect the red buff here as well. Diana walking up here now, seeing that her blue has been taken. Pretty sad for Crimson, but that's what happens when you have failed ganks against Ivern. As the Facemaker lands the stun, the Mimic comes out. Haymaker will land for the true damage. And not much else happening. Just more even trades happening in topside, as we do see Diana gank. Wukong having to flash away. Directed camera is so bad.
Not the greatest.
Directed camera walked away from that as soon as Diana went in. But now that Diana's topside, the dragon is looking freer, as we do see Ivern use the Daisy to tank up the dragon. Pretty easy for him, as we might see Tyler look for a gank here. Does have his normal flash over the wall. It would be a bit reckless for the level 4 Alistar, though, to go for this. As we do see Ivern clean up the dragon. Ivern hanging out, or Alistar hanging around the bottom side jungle.
Yeah, he's just looking to make a play around the mid lane with Viego's flash still being down. Not looking like anything's going to happen though, so he probably wants to make his way back bot lane as he is now and get some more XP and get some levels. As you see, Ezreal's level 6, Karma's level 5.
As we do see a fight breaking out, we hear an Ashel go off and chant a crystal arrow. Will people died?
Rocket flashed in a straight line there.
Yeah, a bit tough. A bit tough.
Fortunately, the kill went over to the Ivern as well, rather than the Ashe. Or the Wukong, who TP'd down.
We do see Diana here, though. The flash in by Alistar. Diana is level 6, though. Will drop the Moonfall. Does do a lot of damage, but just does not have much else. She will use the Lunar Rush to try and get in. The Crescent Blade will not kill her off, as she is now getting kited. Oh, it is... Oh, she will get the kill with the red buff. As we do see the Pulverize finish her off, but a 3-for-1 in the bot lane. And you take that any day of the week as GME, as we do see trades coming in here. Blade of the Rune King will land. Command Attack does land on him, both being chunked a little, but no harm, no foul. A really good play there on the side of GME.
Yeah, they played that really well.
As we see some farming in the top side, both of them pretty even, but the wave is crashing into set, so he will be at a farm advantage here. Rocket coming back, clearing some vision. Wukong clearing some vision as well. As we do not see much else happening around the map. Might see another Facebreaker. Facebreaker lands but does not get the sun. The Mimic comes out. Haymaker will land for the true damage again. But not much else happening as the Hex Flash over the wall comes in. Phase Rush proc. She's going to get stunned. We're going to have to see if the Shockwave comes out. Shockwave does come out. Spectral Maul does land on Bidoof. Going to see if the Heartbreaker comes out. Heartbreaker doesn't come out. Bidoof flashes over the wall. They do get the Karma. Raoul used to use the Heartbreaker over the wall. Daisy coming out. The Diana is here though. And we will not see any more aggression. No cooldowns on the side of GME to keep going with Shockwave already used. But once again, Rocket just a little out of position. Getting caught. Clearing vision. Tyler really punishing this with this Hex Flash, getting over these walls and creating picks.
Yeah, he's making use of the Hex Flash really well, making plays around the map. See if he continues to do that through the game.
He Hex Flash down there again. Spectral Maul will land onto Ivern here, but will get the Command Protect, but accidentally does go back in on the Q. Thankfully, they weren't in range to punish that, but a bit of a mistake there by Ivern could have cost him his life if they were slightly closer. As we do see the Enchanted Crystal Arrow does land on the Viego. Viego having the flash. Alistar is over the wall. The headbutt pulverized. Must have been a Hex Flash. Really well played, but they're not going to finish the kill.
He just barely gets out with
the E out right outside of the volley. Whew. That was hectic. That was a hectic mid-play, but a really good ult there by Ashe to start that play, but not being able to finish it off. As we do see Ashe is going for, is that a Wit's End?
Yeah,
it is.
he's going Wit's End.
What is the other longsword for, though? Does it have another longsword component in it? I thought it was
yes.
Is it Hearthbound Axe, Negatron Cloak, and then a longsword?
Longsword, yep.
Oh, okay. So they're just going for that Wit's End. Kind of weird, especially since most of DN's damage is physical with the Viego, the Ezreal, and the Set. But probably just a little scared of this Diana. Diana's the only one with the kill right now on the side of DN.
Could be some hidden tech as well that Jay hasn't shown the world yet.
True. This is true. He's going the Kog'Maw build, but doing it on Ashe. As we do see the Negatron Cloak coming out, definitely going to be a Wit's End for him. Surprising to see, but we do see a Hex Flash come out of Tyler again. Decides to not go over the wall, though. Smart idea, as Diana was waiting for him over that wall. As he will clean up that minion. Ivern throwing some Qs out, not landing. As we do see this Cloud Dragon is coming up the second, headbutted back in the turret. Crimson is here, though. The Command Dissonance does land on him. He does miss that Crescent Blade. Not much else going on there.
We might see a fight here at this dragon as well. 4 people from both sides are starting to group around it.
Yeah, everyone's ultimate is up for this fight. It's going to be interesting to see if Crimson can land a really clutch Moonfall and do a lot of damage. It's a little interesting that they're starting this Dragon. They are down gold. As we do see the root land onto Ezreal, we're going to have to see if this Enchanted Crystal starts coming out. Set is TPing. The Wukong does not have TP, so this is going to be a 4v5. The Moonfall lands on 3 people. Tons of damage with the Arcane Barrage. As we see the Shockwave land on 3 people as well. The Haymaker is going to come out in a second. Spectral Maul, they're collapsing onto the Orianna. Heartbreaker will clean her up. Dark Possession coming out too. The Command Protect onto the Set. Not going to be able to clean him up, as we see another Heartbreaker reset onto the Alistar, but does get the Trigger Seed. They're going to lose this 4v5 right now, as we see the Volley lands, the Root lands, Ashe is landing these auto attacks, Spectral Maul lands, but she's not dying. They just do not do enough damage to this Ashe as they clean it up. That was a 5-for-1 with Wukong not TPing down. Just really well played on the side of GME. You know,
Yep.
Crimson landing the really good Moonfall, but really well peeled back by the side of GME. Ivern keeping everyone alive with really thick shields. And Alice, as Crimson comes in and steals the dragon!
That's how long that fight was. That Crim was able to die at the beginning, come back and steal the dragon after it ended.
Oh, and Ivern had Smite. Well, throw everything I said out the window. Bad fight. Didn't get the dragon.
Wukong did get top tower though with that 2.5-minute long fight that happened. He was left alone with that tower the entire time.
As you see Set running at the Wukong, the Facebreaker most likely going to come out here as it does land. Using the Cyclone there though on Wukong to run away. Set not having the Showstopper, not really going to be able to do much as Wukong, it is a clean blue buff steal, but did have to use the Cyclone there. As the Command Dissonance and attack will land onto Viego. Phase Rush is procced. We see another Hex Flash from Alistar not going over the wall. But, you know, all jokes aside, very well played on the side of GME for a 4-for-1. Bidoof just being, or a 5-for-1. Bidoof just being a little off with the rest of his team, you know, being behind them, but a really good Shockwave to keep his team alive for so long. And then just having so much poke and no one on the side of DN really having enough damage, as we do see Crimson coming in here, but he's going to have to start taking these Daisy knockups. The Trigger Seed's going to land on him 2 for the slow, as we see 3 from the side of GME show up. Most likely going to have to give up this dragon as the Enchanted Crystal Air just misses Crimson. That could have been disastrous for him.
Luckily it did miss, and it wasn't just disastrous. As GME is looking mid here, but Viego uses the mist, gets out no problem.
As we see Wukong is going in for the Mimic here, the Nimbus Strike plus the Decimate, Q. Doing some damage on the side of the Set. Now a level up because he just had so much time to himself in top lane. The Herald being immediately dropped, not even killing the first turret. So not really the best Rift Herald, but a good response by DN, making sure that that Rift Herald didn't get more. As we do see Alistar is pathing bot lane. As we might see a dive onto this Ezreal. Someone's going to have to come down here and help him, or he's going to have to back off. So he might just get dived by this Alistar.
Looks like Alistar is actually going to go back rather than attempting to dive. Diana's hovering anyway, just in case they do go for it.
So we see the pink come out, just barely missing Tyler there on the recall, as Vision is being cleared on the side of DN. Well played by them, but Raul just sort of not really being a factor in this game so far. Just kind of getting poked out a lot in mid. That one fight, most of his damage just being shut out by the Ivern shields. We're going to have to see if he can get a little more active in this game. Definitely has the potential to carry on Viego. All it takes is really one reset with the Dark Possession to really get going.
Yep, we've all seen that happen in team fights where the Viego just gets rolling and completely takes over.
Mm-hmm. What's your opinion on Viego, Penelope?
I think it's better in the jungle.
It's probably true. As we see...
Every time I've seen it in lane, it doesn't seem like it does very much.
And we see that coming to fruition here. You know, he's even on CS, but just hasn't really been able to do much in this lane. As we see Wukong fake him out with the Mimic there. Really well played from him, faking out the set there, not really knowing what's going on, as we see him make a clean getaway. As we see Mythics coming in on both sides, the Ashe did go for the Wit's End first. Alistar most likely going for the Turbo Chem Tank, as the Enchanted Crystal Arrow will land, and Karma is dead. Karma just a little too far off from her team. Gonna need her team if she's gonna want to clear this vision. Just with so much pick on the side of GME, as we see it happening in the Crimson again. The Moonfall will land, do a lot of damage, but not much else happening there. As the True Shot Barrage comes in, does some damage, but not much else really happening. As Wukong kind of just walking in aimlessly.
Yeah, DN is just walking into the jungle one at a time there with no vision, and they paid the price both times, the Karma and the Diana.
Been interesting to see the Diana go for the Night Harvester here.
Night Troller.
Yeah, Night Troller, as LS has coined it. Would have liked to see in Protobell. Riftmaker probably wouldn't have been too bad here too, with how long these fights have been going, especially around that last dragon. A Riftmaker would have had tons of value in that fight. But we do see Ashe go for the Kraken Slayer Wit's End built. As we do see just Asunder and Caulfields on the side of Ezreal. Everyone just sort of a half an item up on their counterpart, with Ivern being up a whole item, you know, his items being cheaper since he's going support. Items, as he does have 9 stacks on that Dark Seal, though. He is a threat in these fights, has a lot of damage. As we do see a lot of poke land onto him. Trigger Seed, though, will negate some of the dragon damage. As we do see a fight happening around here. A little bit interesting on the side of DN to go for this, especially down so much gold, but maybe they think this is their only way back into the game. But we could see Enchanted Crystal Arrow come out and take them down. But actually they decide against it. A little too risky to go for this fight. As we do see them try to engage onto the Wukong. Spectral Maw does land, but the Mimic will get him out of there. No one else really there for follow-up, as now they're trying to go back in. The Dragon's already taken. The Crimson Enchanted Crystal Arrow will land, find Rocket. As the Showstopper does get cancelled out by the Unbreakable Will from Alistar. The Haymaker will land, Moonfall will land on 2, but not really priority targets. Cyclone is in the backline, zoning the Ezreal, as we do see a Dark Possession from Dab twice, but he's going to have to use the next one to get out. Not really much else happening there. Wukong being able to zone the Ezreal from the fight, getting both of his sums, and now we're 4 for 1 again from the side of GME as they ping the Baron. Once again, just a little uncoordinated from the side of DN. Just not really landing stuff on the priority targets. Set's ult almost getting nullified by that Unbreakable Will, not being able to get over the wall. And they do find the pick onto Orianna, but not much else happening, as we will see the Baron taken here by GME.
We're looking at a 10k gold lead at 22 minutes now on the side of GME.
Yeah, not a good look for DN, that's for sure. But they do have Viego. He is building a Wit's End now. And, you know, if a champion could pull this game back, it could be this Viego. He has been able to find Bidoof in 2 of these fights. If they can find a kill onto Ashe and Viego becomes Ashe, they might be able to do it, but we're going to have to see if that's even possible with how much shielding the Ivern is providing, and no one on the side of DN really having the money to build shield break yet. Or even really having the ability to. I don't know which champion on that team would really be able to do it. It would either have to be Viego or Ezreal at this point, but both of them don't really want to build that item.
No, it's definitely not a very efficient item for either of them. It's definitely not something that they typically build. But with the amount of shielding they might have to consider at this game, as we see another Ashe Arrow land.
Ashe Arrow does land. Rocket is just going to get solo killed by that, while the rest of the team does just chase down these 2 people bot lane. Shockwave will miss. Headbutt into the wall. The Ignite comes out. Set is here, though. Unbreakable will cancel it, as we do see the Flash Pulverize on the side of Alistar. Bidoof is tanking this turret. Might go down on the next turret shot. Never mind. Does get the Moonstone heal. As we see the Ashe is legendary. These shields are just huge on the side of Ivern right now. I mean, literally doubling these people's health. Bidoof most likely going to TP back to one of these minions to get the turret. As you see him go for it. Hex Flash in from Alistar. Raul not really being able to do much as we see that his base is now in shambles. GME being able to push in here, take bot inhib, most likely going to be able to take this mid inhib, which is what the Wukong has been pushing for the last couple seconds. Now just waiting for him to push it in. Daisy was zoning, and now they're here on the turret. They're going to take the turret. Going to have to see if Tien goes for the fight, but another arrow is up soon. Flash pulverize in. The Cyclone lands as well. Karma just having to flash away. Karma just not really being effective in this game. The Mantra Q lands. Moonfall does connect 3 people, just not enough damage. Wukong being able to tank it up. The shields being able to keep everyone up. Alistar heals, keeping everybody up. It's really well played as they do take the mid inhib. Not much else really happening for the side of Tien, as they really just can't do enough damage to break through the shielding and the tankiness on the side of GME.
Yeah, the amount of shields that Ivern is putting out at the moment, as well as the Orianna shields, is just absolutely insane. And with the champions that they currently have, they just don't have any real ability to break through those.
Yeah, it's just really hard to see. Ivern did go for this Medjay now on 16 sacks, 6-0 and 12 on Ivern. 8-1-8 on Ashe. Everyone just being super fed. Now went for that Rage Blade. Basically just going a Kog'Maw build at this point on Ashe. But I guess that's the build.
So far, it's worked out really well for him.
Yeah, can't complain. You're 8-1-8. I mean, the build doesn't help him land these arrows, but he's just doing that by himself.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen him miss one yet, and if I haven't, it's probably because the camera
He missed the one on Crimson in the top jungle, like right over here while they were taking Rift Herald. It like narrowly missed him. But we do see GME is pushing into the base. Would like them to push top lane so they can end this game, but I guess they think they can just brute force mid. As you see Alistar running in, looking for the headbutt pulverize combo, using the chem tank, is literally just running at the enemy team. The enemy team not really being able to do anything, as they are just forcing themselves onto this Nexus, doing damage to the turrets. Poke coming out, headbutt pulverize onto Set. Not really the target you're looking for, as the trample will stun him. Set is going in though, good face breaker, throwing Bibu back into the turret. We do see a shockwave on the other side of the fight though. 4 people hit by it, I think. As we do see, it's just a wash from the side of GME. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow does land onto Raul in his base, and not much else they can do. GG on the side of GME, just a really well played game. Just completely stifling any attempts that Tien made that game.
Yeah, just clean from start to finish on the side of GME for that one.
As we do see, it was a kill a minute. 26 kills in 20 minutes. So we will get into this screen now. Woo. As we are going to get into interviews in 1 second, we will start with the losing team here of the side of DN. As I drag them all in.
Hello.
Hello, Dab Nation. Tough loss there.
Like Crim. What the hell?
What?
Oh, that
What
moved
did
us.
Crim do? What
Streamers.
happened?
There's streamers that moved us.
I moved you
I
guys.
just came.
Oh
came
no,
back.
I'm just reading his screen name.
Oh. So tough loss there. Were you guys surprised to see the Ivern pick at all?
I think it's more that we just disrespected it. I think that we didn't. We knew that he played Ivor and Shaco because of the things he plays, and we just didn't think about it as something he'd play because we thought we'd play it more around something like Nocturne and Viego. But after they triple banned our jungler, I think it should have been pretty obvious.
Yeah, that's fair. And let's see. Dilly, do you have any questions?
What'd you guys think of the Ashe build, the Wits End? I was kind of surprised by that as well. They did a lot of things in that game that I wasn't expecting, so I'm just curious how much
To be
you
honest,
guys expected from them.
To be honest, I didn't even notice that until right now. I think our priority towards that mid game mark was like not drowning. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
We were
That
slowly
definitely makes
bleeding out,
sense.
and it was
Yeah, it
just
was like a bleeding out type
Yeah.
of thing. I think it was not so much like what can they itemize against us, but more so what can we itemize. I think we had a lot of mid, like mid fights. And when I say mid fights, I don't mean like directly mid. I mean just like it like went meh kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
We could have like done a lot earlier too, but I think that Tilem and Naya did such a really good job on just zoning us out constantly and then preventing us from really moving or just moving before like we could even move.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like one of those things, and like Rocket said, right? We didn't really pay it like a lot of respect by banning it away, and obviously, it came to bite us in the behind. Very unkillable pick, and then just the duo of them just running around the map pretty much, really solidified like our inability to do a lot.
Mm-hmm. And now that we're halfway through the season, what do you guys think you need to improve on the most to really make a push for like the let's be one of the top 3 teams this season? As I think you guys still have to play Akatsuki, right?
yeah. We
Yes.
still have to play Akatsuki, World Enders, and Jiu-Jitsu Tech, and I think right now we're trying to make sure our proactivity is there to kind of make sure players like TLM doesn't get to do whatever he wants in bot lane and kind of get that roam around, because that's the strength that we like to play around, and when we get outmaneuvered like that, it's kind of frustrating. And
Mm-hmm.
then we're gonna make sure that we don't do stuff like that against Akatsuki and World Enders. Jiu-Jitsu Tech is, well, they're Jiu-Jitsu Tech.
Ooh, who's the scariest member of Jujutsu Tech then? Who are you most worried about in that game?
Probably who, but his champ pool is not that great. Everyone else is kind of a non-factor.
Hmm. Well, you heard it here first. Who's the scariest member of Jujutsu Tech? Well, Dab Nation, thank you for joining us. And I wish you
Well, you just
guys.
asked us a question. What do you mean?
No, no,
Thanks
no.
for you just
We
asked
we
us.
haven't.
Who do you think who do you think the scariest member of Jujutsu Tech is? And then you're signing us off.
Well,
No,
he
no,
said
we.
who? I
I
There's
said
like.
another
who?
question. There's another question.
I
Who the
legitimately thought
owl? No.
thought he said who as in like WHO. Oh,
Oh
okay,
no,
okay.
I was asking.
For me, I would
Oh
probably
boy.
say that 80 carry.
what
But yeah.
were you gonna
Who
say, Penelope?
There's an audience question actually.
Oh, there's an
They,
audience question. Where's this
they wanted to
audience?
know why Crimson went Night Troller on Diana.
Nitro. So I went Night Harvester because there was a point at which we were getting a lot of chunked HP bars down, and we're not into fights like fully sustaining or anything like that. Proto Ult is good; it gives you that flat AP, but at the same time, once you're caught out, you're pretty much just caught out. And I never really had any difficulties kind of gap closing. It's more so just deleting them before they delete us.
Mm.
Night Harvester is good if I just need that flat AP in that one moment. Um, but other than that, like Protobelt is not going to really do much for me. And then with ability haste as well, I can constantly spam the W or the E faster.
All right. Well, um, thank you guys for joining us. Really appreciate you guys taking the time to talk to us, and I wish you well in the rest of your games for the season.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm going to move them away. As now, we're going to talk to the winners of last game, the gentlemen from GME, as they moved into Scrim 2s already. That's very nice of them. Oh, oh. I accidentally moved chats, but I'm here. Hello, GME. How's it going? How you guys feeling after that pretty crushing win overall? Hello.
Feels,
Great. Hello.
I was
Feels good.
So I'm gonna speak.
feels free like the Independence Day in America.
Happy July the 4th.
Amen.
True.
Amen.
Defeating Dab Nation almost in the same way our forefathers defeated the British. Who is the George Washington of your team?
Who is George Washington?
It's Jay.
It's Jay.
It
You don't
is
know who
me.
George
I have
Washington is? Are you not
I'm
American?
Canadian.
Oh,
I'm,
okay.
We
George
got three
Washington was
Canadians on the team.
George Washington was like the general of the Union. You know, he was
Union.
The first president of the United States.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah. So who is that? Who is that for you guys?
Yeah, I led the attack. Just like how George
Sure.
Washington did time to time. So I'll say it's me, sure.
All right.
Uh,
I'll take that. And now a quick question. Were you guys most scared of Krim? Is that why you guys were focusing him with jungle bans? Or did you guys just want to lower the champ pool for jungle so that you could pull out the Ivern pick?
I mean, we were just like we got in the game and we're just like, yo, what do we need to ban? And all we could think of was, oh, they have Crimson. He likes to play certain champions, and it's pretty annoying having to deal with their gangs like Zac and Xin Zhao. So we're just like, oh, let's go ahead and just ban those, so we don't have to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't necessarily to bait out the Ivor,
All
but
right.
yeah.
Thank you. Dilly, do you have any questions?
I just want to ask Jay, is the Wits End Ash something you cooked up yourself?
No, this there's just a random series I watch on YouTube, and it's like cool videos on different builds and all that. The Korean dark tech, and basically this is mathematically stronger than any other build until you get to your fourth item. And usually games are over by then, so
Yep.
I just dislike to play. I mean it's also cool with the new skin, or
Ash with the
skins.
skin is broken.
It looks like you're shooting pew pew, so it's pretty neat.
That's true.
Any questions, Penelope?
Yeah.
No.
All right. Halfway through the season, guys. I would assume you guys still have to play the Akatsuki, right?
Sir.
Yep.
Yeah. What are your guys' thoughts going into that game and looking forward to that? As it appears that you two are the top two teams right now in the league.
Should be a good game.
Yeah. Any
Yep.
strategy you'd like to disclose onto the stream?
Yeah, we're just gonna fight over and over again. I think
Like this game? That's
make it real messy. You know what I mean?
I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I
This
like
game
that.
was too clean. It's
Mhm.
definitely not GME like.
Yeah, you guys did
So
win a 4v5 and only lost one person while acing them. So, But then missed the smite. So it was really good, and then
his
the
specialty.
smite was missed. And I saw it was pinged. The smite was up.
I wanted to give the Cloud Dragon, honestly.
That's
Oh, yeah,
fair.
we don't.
No, that's fair. As I guess no one did the MVP poll. Cause is that me? Do I have to do the MVP poll? And I'm just dumb.
We can just choose one of us right now, and we'll
just-
go along.
I'll
with it.
just choose one of you. All right, who did the most damage?
That's not fair.
Jay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jay
so-
MVP.
Not
Yeah.
honestly, I'm gonna give it to the Ivern. There you go. He played really well.
Report.
Yeah,
Besides the one smite, you guys like
Look at all his
it
smites,
was
man.
really
Oh my
it doesn't
goodness.
matter.
Every time we get into like a objective, like my heart just bounces because
You just don't
Do
know.
you see that 5-0?
But
We
he's
were
six.
like,
He's 6-0 and 15. It's either him or Tyler.
he took my kills. He also gave up kills that we could have had. I died bot lane because he didn't slap Diana.
Okay.
All those things, man.
That's tough. All right, we'll give it
I'm
to Tyler
I'm
then.
just saying.
All right, Tyler then. That's fine. That's fine. We'll just accept that. Congratulations. What does it feel like to be MVP of this game?
Feels good, man. I love roaming.
Mm-hmm. And Hexflash, obviously. Since
Bro, I go
I swear
new.
you used it on cooldown. It felt like you used it on cooldown.
Yeah, bro, I just sit in the middle of the lane and start channeling it, and they get scared.
It's true.
He was doing the bush too. He was just like playing by himself.
Mm-hmm. It's your own game. It's your own kind of game. Well, once again, thank you GME for joining us, and good luck in you guys' future games.
Thank you.
So you're gonna pull them out of here now.
Pyong!
And well, that brings brings us to the end of the stream. Thank you guys for watching. Dilly and Penelope, do you have any last words for the stream before we sign off?
Nothing for me.
ABD is a terrible team.
Okay.
ABDX. Yeah, true.
Okay. Yeah, ABDXD.
Forget that. Can't believe I almost forgot that.
Yeah, we did almost forget that. It has to be said at least once a stream by somebody, or at least mentioned once a stream. So it's good that we got it in there. But thank you guys for watching the KDL. Be on the lookout. Join the Discord if you guys want to look up for the next tournament games. The scheduling for that stuff should be going on. And we will see you guys for the next game. Most likely Tuesday when we take on INS. But who knows? Somebody might schedule a game for tomorrow. Be on the lookout. Join the Discord so you know. But thanks for watching the KDL.